The third guideline for making your bullet point descriptions on your resume more effective and memorable is to ensure that they are specific and concise. Let's discuss how you can increase the specificity of your descriptions. Here are two examples. Take a few minutes to read these on your own. When writing and revising for specificity, you want to add specific details to your descriptions. These details may name how many tasks you completed, how many people you led or served, or how much money you managed. Next, let's discuss concision. To write concisely means to convey your intended meaning using shorter and typically more direct sentences and phrases. When you revise your writing for concision, you should strive to shorten your language without changing your meaning. Here are three strategies for concision. First, you want to emphasize the bottom line. Second, remove repetitive or unnecessary information. Third, convert nominalizations to verbs. What is a nominalization? A nominalization is when you take a verb and turn it into a noun. So, for example, implementation is the nominalized form of implement. You can see how saying, I implemented a plan is clearer and more concise than saying, I engaged in the implementation of a plan. Nominalizations can make many descriptions unnecessarily long. They can also prevent you from beginning the point with the most effective action verb. In the example, engaged in the implementation of a plan, implement is a stronger action verb than engage, but the point begins with engaged in. Let's take a look at this example. Take a few minutes to read it and ask yourself, what is the most important information? What is the most important action? Here is an example revision. Note how many actions there are in the original point. Worked, combined, aid, creating, advertising, bringing, focused, and learned. In creating my revision, I decided that the most important point I wanted to emphasize was that I brought the fertilizer to the Indian villages. I decided that created was synonymous with brought, and that advertising the fertilizer was not a necessary action to emphasize. I also added implemented TATA business model because I thought my knowledge of this model would likely appeal to my potential employer. Now let's take a few minutes to practice revising for specificity and concision. I encourage you to pause this video to work on your revision. If you downloaded the supplementary handout from our website, it provides a space where you can write out your revision. Here are two possible revisions of this example. First, I've revised to cared for 15 to 25 campers on a daily basis. Secondly, developed exercises and games to improve campers' confidence. To create these revisions, I decided to focus on the most important actions of how I cared for the campers and how I developed exercises and games. I also added the specific details of how many campers I cared for each day, 15 to 25. In conclusion, a few things to note here are that specificity and concision can almost seem contradictory in that you are attempting to add in details while cutting out information. This is one of the key challenges of resume writing. Since you only have one page, you want to cut out extraneous information to create space where you can add in the most relevant details. Also note that to complete these revisions, you need to ask yourself what details and actions are most important to your potential employer. This task requires you to think hard about your audience and what types of qualifications they desire in candidates. You should maintain this level of audience consideration throughout your entire writing process to create a successful resume.